Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to dive into what is, without a doubt, the most important skill you can master for an amazing vegetable garden: watering. Seriously, if you get this right, you are setting yourself up for a seriously delicious harvest.
So, let's be honest for a second. Have you ever looked out at your garden and thought, your plants just look sad? Maybe the leaves are a little yellow, a bit droopy, just not really thriving? Well, 9 times out of 10, the culprit isn't some exotic pest or mysterious disease. It's usually something way simpler: how we're watering them.
So in this explainer, we're going to cover how to actually read what your plants are telling you. We'll find the absolute best time of day to water, nail down the right technique, I'll show you a super simple trick for your tap water, and then we'll wrap up with the 5 biggest mistakes you got to avoid. Sound good? Let's jump in.
First things first, before you can fix the problem, you have to know what the problem is, right? Your plants are talking to you all the time. The trick is just learning to speak their language.
Okay, this is so important to get. Underwatering, that's kind of what you'd expect, right? Everything gets dry, wilted, crispy. The plant is screaming, "I'm thirsty!" But look at the signs for overwatering. The leaves are yellow and limp, not because they're dry, but because the roots are literally drowning. They can't get any oxygen, so they start to rot. It's wild. But a plant that's getting too much water is just as stressed out as one that's getting none at all. So, how can you be absolutely sure? Forget fancy gadgets. Use the finger test. It's free and it is the most reliable method out there. All you do is stick your finger down into the soil about up to your second knuckle. If it comes out dry and clean, it's time to water. If you feel any moisture or soil sticks to it, just wait. Check again tomorrow. It's that simple, and it takes all the guesswork out of the equation.
All right, so you know how to tell if your plants need a drink. But does it actually matter when you give it to them? Oh yeah, it makes a massive, massive difference for their health.
As you can see, early morning is the undisputed champion. It's the golden hour for watering. Why? Because it's cool, so the water actually soaks into the soil instead of just evaporating. It gives the plant all day to absorb that moisture. Midday, that's the absolute worst. You're basically just giving the hot sun a drink. And evening? Well, it's okay in a pinch, but it comes with a pretty big risk.
And here's why that evening watering can be risky. If you water late, the leaves get wet and they stay wet all night long. In the dark, cool air, that dampness is like putting out a welcome mat for fungal diseases. I'm talking about things like powdery mildew that can absolutely wreck your squash and tomato plants. Watering in the morning lets the sun dry off the leaves nice and quick, which keeps those diseases away.
Okay, we've nailed the if and the when. Now let's get into the how. Because your watering technique can mean the difference between a weak, needy plant and a strong, super resilient one.
So here's the philosophy. You want to water deeply, but not every day. Instead of a quick, shallow sprinkle daily, give your plants a really good long soak a few times a week. This actually encourages the roots to grow down deep looking for water, which makes your plants way tougher. And always aim for the base of the plant, go slow so the water soaks in, and if you can, add a layer of mulch. It's like a blanket that keeps the moisture in the soil.
And this right here, this image is the perfect example. See how the water is going directly onto the soil, right at the base of the plant? That means every single drop is getting down to the root zone, where the plant can actually use it. It's just smart, efficient watering.
Which brings us to a major don't. Whatever you do, try to avoid spraying the leaves. Remember, plants drink with their roots, not their leaves. Getting the foliage wet is not only wasteful, most of it just evaporates, but as we just talked about, it's the #1 way to invite fungal diseases to the party. So yeah, always aim for the soil.
All right, let's talk about something a lot of gardeners never even consider: the water itself. If you're using water straight from the tap, there's one tiny step you can take that can make a huge difference for the health of your soil.
So what's the deal? Well, it's chlorine. The city puts it in our drinking water to kill bad bacteria, which is great for us. But in the garden, it can also harm the good guys, all the beneficial microbes living in your soil. Think of your soil as a bustling city of tiny helpers. These little critters are essential for breaking down nutrients so your plants can eat. We definitely want to protect them.
Now the good news is that getting rid of this chlorine is incredibly easy. The absolute simplest way: just fill up your watering can the day before you need it and let it sit out for 24 hours. The chlorine is a gas, so it'll just evaporate away into the air. That's it. If you're in a big hurry, you can boil the water to speed it up, but just make absolutely sure you let it cool all the way down before you use it on your plants.
Phew, okay, we've covered a lot. So let's wrap this all up with a quick fire review of the most common mistakes. Think of this as your cheat sheet for becoming a total watering pro. So let's run through them. Mistake number 1, light daily sprinkles. Nope, go deep and less often to build strong roots. Number 2, watering in the middle of a hot day. All that water just vanishes. Number 3, watering the leaves instead of the soil. That's just asking for trouble. Number 4, using ice-cold water. It can literally shock the roots, so use room temperature water. And finally, number 5, forgetting about your pots. Plants in containers and raised beds dry out way faster, so you have to check on them more often.
You know, when it comes right down to it, watering isn't just a chore on your to-do list, it's a conversation. It's all about paying close attention and responding to what your garden needs in that moment. So the next time you go out there with a hose or a watering can, just take an extra second. Look around. What are your plants trying to tell you today? Learning how to listen? That's the real secret to a garden you can be proud of.